Welcome back to Landing the Moon. I'm still catching my breath from this week's numbers.
That's saying something, coming from you.
Fair. So Elon Musk is suddenly sitting on trillionaire money thanks to SPCX, and we're going to get into what's actually driving that stock versus what's just NASDAQ 100 mechanics doing the heavy lifting.
Right, and then there's the other side of that chart, the part nobody's bragging about. We'll trace how far it fell before inclusion day and why August 6th might matter more than the launch day does.
Oh, you're going to love this part, because buried under all that market noise is an actual hardware question. Ship-to-ship propellant transfer. NASA needs it before HLS certification even starts.
And
Okay, so get this. As of this week, Elon Musk is officially the first trillionaire on planet Earth.
Some assembly required, but yeah, that's the number.
Some assembly, Blake? The man's Starship can't even survive orbital refueling, and now he's got a 13-digit net worth?
CNN covered the IPO day itself. SpaceX gained 19%, pushed the valuation past $2 trillion. Musk owns almost half the company.
Nearly half? That's insane.
Add the Tesla stake on top, and yeah, trillionaire.
Plot twist, the guy who can't hit a Starship launch window just broke capitalism?
That's interesting. Walk with me, though. CNBC's closing print on IPO date was $160.95.
Wait, hold on. That's not even the wild part, right?
No, the wild part is July 7th. SpaceX joined the NASDAQ 100.
Okay, and?
Every index fund tracking that thing has to own it now. Doesn't matter if the manager believes in Mars, it's mechanical buying. So how much money are we talking? Trading Key put JP Morgan's estimate at $4.3 billion in forced passive demand. BNP Paribas ran the math differently, landed closer to $8 billion. $8 billion because a spreadsheet said so? Pressure test the assumption behind that, though. Where's this stock actually sitting? What do you mean? Only 3 to 5% of SpaceX shares are even tradable right now. Musk and early investors are locked up. So you've got billions of dollars chasing a float the size of a kiddie pool. That's the consensus trap right there. Okay, but real question, does $1 of that $8 billion touch a Raptor engine? Does it move Starship's heat shield tiles 1 inch closer to working? No, not 1 cent of index fund buying builds hardware. It's paper changing hands. So Wall Street throws a $1 trillion party, and NASA is still staring at the same tank-to-tank transfer problem, which raises the question I keep coming back to. Does a scrutinized, publicly traded SpaceX actually behave differently under pressure? Or does a company this large just absorb bad headlines the way it's always absorbed slipped deadlines? And if the stock's already this jumpy on a 3% float, what happens when the real test hits?
With that stock swing you mentioned, TradingViews got SPCX hitting 225.64 on June 16th.
And by June 23rd, 147.11, a crash inside a week.
Then inclusion day hits, another 7% gone, landing around 149.
BN Crypto flagged that exact pattern. Stock joins the index, drops hard right after. Wait, is that a SpaceX thing or an index thing? Trading Key's Palantir comparison says neither. Palantir peaked the week it joined the NASDAQ 100 too. Same with MicroStrategy.
So joining the index is basically ringing the bell at the top.
2 data points. A real correlation, still just a pattern worth watching.
So the forced buying didn't even stop the crash?
Nope. Mechanical demand met human panic, and panic won.
Meanwhile, Starship test flights don't swing that hard week to week.
Fair point.
I mean it. A 30% range in 1 week beats most static fire drama.
There's a date that matters more than any of that, though. August 6th.
What's happening August 6th?
First quarterly earnings report, and the first insider lockup release.
Insiders can finally sell?
Roughly 20% of insider shares become saleable that day. There's more, isn't there? Another 10% unlocks if the stock is holding 30% above the IPO price of $135.
So August 6th is either a green light for insiders or a real test of the float.
A different kind of scrutiny than anything NASA's ever put on this company.
Building on that August date, NASA's eaten years of HLS slips, and SpaceX's bottom line never blinked.
Because NASA doesn't have a stock price. Wall Street does.
You really think investors move faster than physics?
I think investors punish surprises. Missed guidance, ballooning cash burn. August 6th is the first time this company explains a number to someone besides a program manager.
Okay, but what number? Define what actually counts as discipline before I buy any of it.
Fair, 2-1 per market trackers, SpaceX put in roughly $4.7 billion in revenue against a net loss near $4.28 billion.
Wait, the loss nearly matched the revenue?
Close to it. And that's Falcon, Starlink, everything combined. Starship and HLS aren't the moneymaker there. They're the drain.
So if Starship slips again, that loss widens next print?
That's the test. If it widens and the stock shrugs, my whole theory is dead on arrival.
I already know how this ends.
How's that?
3 to 5% of shares actually trade. Musk basically owns half, and he still controls the mic. Quarterly scrutiny on a stock nobody can really sell is theater, not pressure.
Major difference in audience. Analysts model cash burn whether the float moves or not.
Sure, but does a model on some desk shift the HLS schedule one single day?
I don't know yet. That's why August 6th matters. A real number instead of a guess.
Or it's another Tuesday where nothing changes and everyone moves on to the next headline.
Maybe. I'm not saying NASA's leverage problem is solved. I'm saying we finally get something to argue about with actual numbers behind it.
Fine, we fight about it again in August.
Deal. But I'll say this. A market that can't sell its shares isn't exactly positioned to punish anybody.
And a spreadsheet doesn't refuel a rocket in orbit either.
No, it doesn't. That part nobody in this argument actually controls.
Which is the thing that has to happen no matter what Wall Street decides, the ship-to-ship propellant transfer demo.
Right. Whatever the earnings call says on August 6th, that test still has to fly first.
Shifting gears, forget the ticker. There's one test that actually gates Artemis 3, and it has nothing to do with NASDAQ.
Walk me through it.
Ship-to-ship propellant transfer. NASA can't even start the design certification review for Starship HLS until SpaceX proves it can move fuel from one Starship to another in orbit. Wikipedia's tracking page on the demo says it's still, quote, optimistically scheduled for 2026, and neither test phase had flown as of early this year.
Optimistically scheduled. That phrase is carrying a lot of weight given this program's record.
It's doing the work of an entire press release, yeah.
So what's the actual test?
2 ships. First one launches, just loiters in orbit, proving the insulation stops the propellant from boiling off into space. Second ship launches 3 to 4 weeks later, docks with the first, and actually transfers propellant between them.
And if the insulation doesn't hold?
Then ship 2 shows up to an empty tank. That's the entire reason it's split into 2 flights instead of 1.
Okay, quantify this for me. How many of these flights does HLS actually need?
This is where it gets messy. Estimates I've seen range from around 10 tanker launches on the low end to nearly 20 on the high end, just for fully fueling 1 lander.
A factor of 2 uncertainty on something gating a moon landing?
And it's not just outsiders guessing. NASA's own deputy program manager has said publicly the number isn't settled.
So the agency certifying this doesn't know how many launches its own contractor needs.
Right. And every one of those tanker flights has to succeed back to back before the crewed piece even starts its clock.
Given how many Starship flights have slipped their own dates, optimistically is
doing a lot of lifting. And propellant isn't the only place SpaceX's focus is split right now.
Meaning
the company just bolted an entire AI business onto itself. That changes where the money and the engineers go next. Building on that focus problem, February, SpaceX folded xAI in. Grok, the X platform, the whole AI data center stack.
Right, and Shotwell didn't dance around it. She told CNBC the company sees itself 100% as a competitor in AI compute.
An infrastructure company, she called it. Rockets, launch sites, data centers. Same builder mindset, apparently.
Okay, but here's my issue. Musk went on JP Morgan's pre-IPO livestream and framed a whole raise around a significant growth phase.
And?
Over 100,000 satellites, AI data centers in orbit, not one mention of HLS, not one mention of Artemis.
Wait, seriously? Nothing?
Nothing. So where does a fixed-price NASA contract actually sit in the capital stack when the public pitch is entirely about compute?
HLS is worth billions, sure, but this raise is aimed at tens of billions in ships and satellites. Different scale entirely.
Which tells you something about priority without anyone saying it out loud.
Nobody's canceling Artemis in a press release, but nobody's defending it on an investor call either.
And that silence is its own answer.
So if Musk won't say it on a live stream,
If maybe the earnings call forces his hand.
now that's a call I want to hear. Before we close, Accountability Corner. I'm calling it. The August earnings call, zero mention of HLS by name.
Zero? Not even a line on milestone payments?
Maybe a throwaway on government programs, but no Artemis, no human landing system. Musk's script is AI and Starlink now.
I'll take the other side. Stifel just initiated coverage. Other desks are watching cash burn. Somebody presses on propellant transfer timing live on the call.
Even if the answer, watch how vague it is. On track isn't a date.
Fair. My prediction? No firm date for the ship-to-ship demo before the lockup expires.
You think it slips past the unlock?
The tanker count confusion we just walked through makes a firm date impossible to set responsibly. So, insiders unlock into that uncertainty.
And if it slips again publicly on a stock that just IPO'd, that's not a quiet delay anymore.
That's the real test. Does the stock move on a Starship setback, or does it shrug because everyone already knows this company runs on Musk's clock, not NASA's?
We'll soon know enough. Mark both predictions. We're pulling the tape the day after earnings, whatever happens.
Deal. Bring the receipts.
Oh, I'm bringing receipts. All right, so that's a wrap on the trillionaire drama and the Starship reality check.
The float insight stuck with me. Most of that stock can't even trade yet, and the market's still pawing the party.
While the heat shield tiles didn't move an inch.
Right. The stock chart is noise. The tanker flights are the signal.
And that's kind of the whole episode. Index mechanics versus actual hardware playing tug-of-war.
We're marking August 6th on the calendar. Earnings, lockup expiration, and hopefully some honesty about HLS.
Hopefully.
If Musk skips Artemis again, you'll hear about it here first.
If this helped you make sense of why a stock crash doesn't touch a rocket program, send it to a friend who's still confused about the moon return.
Subscribe wherever you're listening and leave a review. It actually helps.
Thanks for riding along with us this week.
See you next time.
Landing the moon, out.